The Sunlit Whisper. Chapter 1. The Healing Touch. In our quaint village, whispers held a peculiar power. A silent language known to only a select few who possessed the gift of healing with their touch. I was one such individual, Lila, a young healer in my mid-20s, with a gentle approach that set me apart from others. While most healers specialized in mending broken bones and soothing physical pain, I had an uncanny ability to mend souls with as much tenderness as skin. The villagers revered me for this dual gift, often referring to it as the Whisperer, for my whispers could not only cure ailments but also soothe the deepest pains of the heart. My unique talent brought solace to those battered by life's storms, and yet, I found myself craving something more. A love that understood the depth of my craft. One fateful morning, I was awakened by an unfamiliar knock on my door. I wrapped myself in a robe, crept towards it, peering through the peephole, and saw a man with eyes as dark as the night sky standing before me. His rugged features masked anguish, his shoulders slouched under the weight of unspoken turmoil. He introduced himself as Alex, seeking relief from an unseen wound that gnawed at him relentlessly. I welcomed him into my home, sensing the echoes of long-forgotten sorrow within him. As he settled on my couch, I took a seat opposite and reached out to place a comforting hand upon his knee. "Tell me your story," I whispered softly, inviting the darkness that had taken refuge in his heart to emerge through our connection. His gaze met mine, brimming with vulnerability as he spoke of a past marred by loss, love turned bitter, and a secret that continued to haunt him. The room was alive with unspoken words yet to be voiced. I leaned forward, the air between us charged with an unsettling familiarity. With each word, my fingers danced along his arm, weaving a melody that only he could hear. I guided him through memories he thought were locked away, bringing them to life within our sanctuary of whispers and silences. It was then that I felt it. An unexpected spark, bridging the gap between us. Alex's breath caught as my hand grazed his chest, and I couldn't deny the flutter in my own breast. A connection forged where words were unnecessary, a mutual understanding born from touch alone. As the sun dipped behind the distant mountains, casting our humble abode in an ethereal light, we sat in silence. He had shed tears for the first time since his arrival. The following days blended into weeks of subtle yet profound healing sessions. Alex's visits became my solace as much as they were his salvation. The whispers grew stronger, weaving a bond between us that transcended our hands touching skin and soul. One day, while tracing patterns on his back, my fingers slipped under the edge of his shirt. The warmth of his skin against mine sent shivers down my spine. He gasped softly before capturing my hand with both of his, drawing me closer as the world slowed to a gentle breeze outside our window. His lips brushed against my palm in a tender kiss that spoke volumes. A longing for more than mere healing. We broke apart abruptly, leaving behind an unspoken promise and a hunger we dared not acknowledge aloud. A week later, Alex came with more intensity, as if the whispers had fueled his desire for connection. I guided him through memories anew, this time embracing the tension between us when our palms intertwined once again. In that moment, it became clear, our connection was no longer limited to healing hearts but extended into a realm of forbidden desires. The sun's descent painted us in hues of crimson and gold as Alex rose from my couch. "Lila," he murmured, hands still clasped with mine, "I need you tonight." My pulse raced. I nodded silently, an unspoken agreement settling between us like the last rays of sunlight. We navigated the shadows to my bedroom, drawn together by a force beyond our understanding. With every kiss, each caress, our love blossomed alongside the healing whispers that had brought us together. Yet just as we surrendered fully, a sudden gust swept through the valley, extinguishing all light and plunging us into darkness. I froze. An eerie silence descended upon us before his hand tightened around mine. A warning, as if the wind itself sensed our vulnerability. Chapter 2. Whispers in the Moonlight. Each day, Alex found solace within the confines of my home, both body and soul healing under my touch. Nights blurred into each other with tender encounters, the whispers growing more passionate yet subtle, reflecting our blossoming connection. I'd often lose myself in his gaze before he pulled me close, kisses escalating from gentle caresses to an unspoken yearning for something more. As we explored love's realm, a sudden visit from Alex's past jolted us back into reality. Rachel, a woman who bore the scars of their tumultuous relationship, stood before us, her eyes brimming with a mix of envy and longing. She pleaded for his return, claiming she still held a place in his heart. The echoes of his memories stirred within me, I could feel them. Heart pounding, he denied any lingering affection, but it seemed too late. The seeds of doubt had been sown. Racing against time, we delved deeper into trust and understanding as our connection deepened. In the midst of this turmoil, Alex's unspoken pain resurfaced in his sleep. I awoke to find him entwined with me, the whispers growing frantic as he struggled with memories long buried. My fingers danced upon his chest, urging him awake. Together, we navigated through his nightmares, my touch a lullaby of forgiveness and love. As sunlight crept into the room, Rachel's presence lingered at the edge of our consciousness, casting an inescapable shadow. I sensed her lingering near us, waiting for Alex to acknowledge what had once been. The wind carried a faint, raspy voice. "You never truly healed me." My breath hitched, her pain and his guilt intertwined like the threads of an unfinished quilt. Determined to keep our bond strong against the tide of external threats, I invited him into my world, sharing the essence of my whispers with Rachel, hoping unity would quell the tumult. Our bond became a sanctuary where love was not merely a word but a tangible force that could bridge gaps. Under star-studded skies, I revealed to Alex and Rachel my gift. How whispers could be both a balm and an incision, depending on intent. The storm within him subsided as the truth dawned. Rachel understood. Embracing unity, we ushered in dawn together, promising love could heal wounds no matter their origin or depth. As Rachel departed, the valley fell silent once more, the wind still. Chapter 3. The Unspoken Promise. Rachel's visit had brought balance but also unrest. Alex awoke to find her sleeping in his room. An unspoken agreement as he navigated his relationship with us both. The day unfolded like any other, however, the whispers whispered secrets, and our hearts understood that this dance was not just healing, it was love evolving. I yearned for more, yet feared disrupting what we had built. Rachel's departure brought a lull in our quiet tumult until one morning, as the sun awakened beyond my window, he sought me out. Our sanctuary echoed with an unspoken plea. To be together fully. Rachel departed without a word, leaving us lost and found all at once. In the stillness that followed, I realized my love for him was not limited to healing but embodied in every beat of my soul. Our fingers intertwined, and he proposed marriage within the sanctuary we'd created. A promise of our souls, bound by more than just whispered truths. Hand in hand, under the star-filled sky, we spoke our vows. Rachel's voice became part of our song. Approval, carried on the wind. In the days that followed, love's rhythm guided us toward commitment and harmony. One fateful night, as thunderstorms rolled across the valley, I found him gone, leaving a single sheet of paper by my door. Words echoed within me, "Meet Rachel at the ancient oak at dusk." She stood there, holding out his wedding ring, an offering for our bond's evolution. The choice was simple yet daunting. Choose love that had grown roots or risk it all to explore something new together. I followed my heart and Alex, and we married beneath the oak under a tempestuous sky, surrounded by whispers of love. We faced each other, hands still entwined from our earlier promise. In this sanctuary of touch and truth, we began anew.